Hey there, my name's Danny Leibrandt, and welcome back to Pest Control Legends. Today I am with Jonas Olson for the second time on the show, and for actually the third time I had him on my other podcast, Local Marketing Secrets, as well. It's crazy to think I think it was like 10 months ago at this point, and you had me on your show. We've known each other for a good amount of time now. It's been great knowing you, Jonas, and you're just such an inspirational figure. I'll talk about some of the things you've done. You've grown your pest control company, Pest Badger, from $0 to $10 million a year in less than 5 years, which, we're going to jump into that in the podcast. I think we've covered it a little bit in the other shows, but I just want to get clear of like, how are you growing so fast? You're projected to do like 15 million next year, 30 million in the next 2-3 years. Like how are you hitting, such a fast growth rate? Also something crazy that's, I guess I'd say doesn't get mentioned enough is you have your company in particular has such a big following on social media. You guys have like 150K on YouTube, I think 70K on TikTok, 40K on Facebook. Like that's just almost no one else is doing that. Who wants to follow pest control accounts? That's another wild thing. We'll probably touch on in this show. So excited to be with Jonas here today. And actually, part of the reason why we're here together in person is because we've been filming some course material for our course and really program Pest Control Millionaires, and to film some book promotion stuff, which we're so excited to release our co-authored book, Zip Code Kings. So that comes out October 20th, depending on when you're watching this. The book may have already actually come out. And we're talking all about how to grow your pest control company. It's really framed as the ultimate guide to growing your pest control company. So definitely get that book. The pre-order link, or actually just the order link, will be in the link in the description. And also our program, which we've been working ruthlessly on. We spent like the whole first portion of this day just making courses and, talking about how to create an offer and mindset stuff and what is the roadmap? Like, what does it look like from 0 to 250K all the way up to $1 million to 3 million and beyond? So we've been making a ton of content, free and paid. So excited to be here with Jonas, and thanks so much for coming on, Jonas.
Yeah, it's been fun. My brain's shot, and now we gotta do a podcast.
Yeah, I know it's so exhausting filming so much content, but it's so worth it. So
Yeah, you must have had a rough morning. All that content.
yeah, no, definitely. So what are the things I wanted to cover first? Which it was funny. We went to Starbucks this morning, and I don't want to like gas myself up, but it was such a good question that we were like, all right, let's save that for the show. Let's not even talk about it right now. So the question was essentially, and I'll give a little preface here. I was talking with one of your partners, someone who owns several of your locations. You guys are at 15 now, which is nuts. One of your partners who's an absolute killer. I was talking to him earlier today. He's 27 years old. Really inspiring story. And it seemed like, and kind of the background is that you used to be his wrestling coach, and it seemed like he wasn't doing too much with his life. He started drinking a lot. He started kind of going down the wrong path. And what I found so interesting, and what I was telling you is, I think this is a really unique talent of yours that I don't hear anyone else talk about, is despite him being in a really bad place, most people would be like, that guy is just going nowhere, whatever. You spent like 6 to 9 months chasing him down. You're like, I need you to work for me, despite him, having these problems. So first off with this guy, like what made him an A player? What was like so attractive about this kind of person?
Yeah, it's a great question. We got to spend some time with him yesterday. We got to spend some time with him today. So he's 27 years old. I mean, big things. It's cool. But we could rewind back to him. He was a freshman in high school. I mean, I knew him before that. I know his parents really well. And so when I say that it took me 6 to 9 months recruiting, I was recruiting his mom. I was recruiting his dad. I was recruiting for him. Like I'm literally texting his mom and his dad. And they're like, yeah, we know he'd be good, so whatever. But going back to like early when he was a freshman in high school, I was his wrestling coach, and he had a crazy good work ethic. Like, obviously, he was really talented, very sharp kid, very smart, intellectual, very well spoken, fun to be around. His energy is electric, and he's always been that way. His dad's kind of the same way. He's just a good person to be around. And then so he graduated, worked his tail off, awesome wrestler, and then he went and played collegiate soccer. So he is a collegiate athlete. Again, he went. I can't remember. It doesn't matter what college he went to. But played 4 years of college there, and then got his bachelor's degree in like human resources or something like that. And so after after graduating, he moved back home. And then, yeah, this is like right before COVID, maybe a couple years before COVID. And he went and got a job being a bartender. And that's just kind of the lifestyle. His sister was working there.
Okay.
And so you kind of watch these kids as they come up, what they do like during high school and college, and then they come back to small town USA and everyone's doing the same thing. They're drinking, they're partying, they go sit at the bars, whatever. And so you kind of watch these kids come up, and it's like, if you can just help one kid, steer the right direction. So I started reaching out to him, and he ghosted me. He'd say, yeah, then ghosted me again. And then I just kept trying, kept like, so text his mom and his dad, but I always knew that I had it in him. And so if you rewind to today and you talk to him, he's like, I always knew that I'd do something big. He's like, I was just waiting for that first person to give me the opportunity. And I saw that in him a long time ago. Like, I knew he was someone special. And so, yeah, I was going through a phase, but he's young. He's 21 to 25 years old. I think everyone kind of goes through that phase for the most part. Not everyone, but a lot of people. And so, yeah, I just got to get him out of that phase. And when I met him, he was still drinking heavily. But then COVID ended up happening. And towards the end of COVID, the bar that he was working at got shut down completely. So he finally gave me the opportunity. And so I actually so we met here at this house. The basement wasn't finished. We had like an old table. It was new, but like it's just a small little table, the card table. Basement's not finished, and I'm like had this big vision. And he just sat there and we hung out. It was him and Matt and a couple other guys down in his basement. Told them what I wanted to do, and they're like, yeah, let's go do it. So cool. So we end up flying to Arizona, and they had never knocked doors before. I go to Utah first. They go to Arizona, and they're doing like a blitz there for another company. And we just practice pitches down in the basement, practicing sales. And they go there. I go to Utah. I go to Sam Taggart's event. And like 2 days in, they're there. They're getting their tails kicked in. Their faces get kicked in. They have zero sales. Yeah. They're there with another company. Their team doesn't have any sales. They brought in these managers that just weren't very good. And so I ended up flying from Utah. Instead of going home, I flew from Utah to Arizona. And so James at this point, he was like bageled for like a couple of days straight. And then I went there and I went out knocking with him, and Matt had got a sale or two, and he just had a lot of experience. And then I went out and knocked with James. He had this guy on the ropes. I went there and I closed it for him. As soon as he saw me close, he's like, oh, I'm going to go do this. So the next door, at maybe 3 horses down, he ended up selling another one. But I think at that point, he had bageled for 2 weeks straight. Like, because we were not bagel. Like, we were just like zero sales. Okay. Like, knock all day long, never got a sale for 2 weeks straight. Yeah. We had to send him to Arizona. He's getting his face kicked in there. But he had grit. It's a wrestling grit. Like, the wrestlers just have a lot of grit. They know what it takes. Like, athletes in general, they go through a lot of hard times. They're just, you take some losses here and there. And yeah, you learn how to deal with it. So he's super competitive, but lots of drive. And then he fast forward to today, and that kid can drop 20, 25 sales in a day. And he's a killer now. He's an awesome recruiter. He's a good kid. He's a great leader. Everyone that is around him, like anytime everyone walks in the door, like everyone just feels so much better that he's there. He just has that personality, and he's a winner too. So like, he was a state champion as a wrestler. So like, you can't teach that kind of stuff. So just very competitive, super smart. And yeah, I saw that in him at a young age, but then as he came up with the phase, and I still believed him. And then, yeah, now he owns multiple branches, building a brand new big house.
No, he's crushing it.
Buy a couple houses or whatever. Yeah, he's a stud.
Okay, so it seems like it's kind of intuitive then. Like
it is.
Just once you're around enough people, it seems like, especially young guys, just guys that might be, 16 to 25 years old. If you're around enough of them, you can kind of just spot out like this guy.
Sure,
this guy's good, right?
And I think it just takes being around enough people.
Yeah.
And you can get around that winner's mentality. I can tell just by the first 30 seconds of talking to you. A lot of people just are really good at game of talking, and then those people who actually go out there and prove themselves. But he was different too. So I don't know if we talked about this before, but the first year, almost full year, he'd come to my house every single day.
Yeah.
And he would just say, can I come over? Can I sit in your hot tub? And so he'd come sit in my hot tub. We'd chat. We'd talk about business. We'd talk about work for me, what didn't, like how I was starting to become successful and what I was doing. And he would take that stuff and he'd apply it to what he was doing. And so like every time he'd come here, he'd learn something and go apply it. And you can't teach that. And it was really cool to see. And that was like first real mentee that like literally crushed. And so once you found that one, it's like, now you're just trying to find more guys like him. And then you go through hundreds of people, and like you don't find very many of him.
Yeah.
Then you find the Dylans, the Matts, the Jacksons, and a bunch of guys like that have come through now. But they're from day one, you could almost know.
Yeah, definitely. No, he was telling me that story as well, that he would just come over every day for a year or so and just hack your brain. And it seems like there's two components there. One is the like willingness and obsessing over learning.
Yeah.
And then the other part, which you talk about a lot, is the implementation.
For sure.
Because some people will be really obsessed with learning, some people will be really obsessed with implementing, just they'll whatever, they come up with random ideas, they do it, but learn from the best and then do what the best are doing, right? That seems
it's just like there's nothing crazy new that's out there. I mean, since the dawn of ages, like entrepreneurs have been out there, like just copy what they do. Like there's so many books and podcasts at this point, YouTube. But there wasn't the stuff when I come up, just books. I actually had to read the book back then.
Yeah. And would you say for this kind of person, is it worth giving them equity in the business or equity in a location, or does it depend?
I think it depends on the way your business is set up. Back then, it was like the only thing I could offer. Yeah, he's really talented, and I wanted to see him succeed, and he obviously has. So it's the best decision that I could make at the time, and I'd still do it again for a person like himself. But I'm not saying you have to give back equity right now. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. So
yeah, definitely. To kind of switch gears here, something else I wanted to cover was mindset. So you just did like a whole big video on this, and I wanted to touch this topic at least a little bit.
Sure.
I know you're passionate about it.
There might be a lot of F words.
No, that's all right. So I guess one thing that you were really touching on in that video was work-life balance, and how a lot of people are like, you need work-life balance, you need to, I don't know, spend X amount of time working and then just, watch Netflix or just go fishing. Is work-life balance BS, or what do you think?
I mean, a lot of people are going to watch this and think I'm crazy, and you hang out with me enough to know, like, I just don't believe there is, especially early on. I say early on, but even still, like, I watch my mentors and watch what they're doing to this day, and there's different levels in business, and when you get to their level, like, they're still all in. They're crushing every single day. Yeah, you have to give up some stuff. Like, you gotta stop hanging out with your friends that are partying. You gotta stop, hanging out with people who are negative. You just don't want to be around. You gotta end some relationships, right? That could be toxic. Been through all those, so it's a lot of sacrifice too. Like, there's one thing that I don't sacrifice. That's my time with my girls. Like, I'll stop what I'm doing for an hour. I'll listen to a meeting or whatever. I'll be on a meeting, but I'll still be at their events. So there's some things that I have to give up, but other than that, I'm usually working all the time. So as far as work-life balance, I think it's bullshit, especially early on.
Yeah.
Like, everyone just has, I almost just said the F word. They always just have, they always have an excuse. Oh, it was opening day of bow season, or I gotta go fishing, or it's an anniversary, whatever. Their grandpa's 50th, whatever the thing may be. There's just every weekend of something, every Saturday, every Sunday, or it's 4:59. They're clocking out. They're part of the 4:59 club, and I just don't buy into any of it. Am I saying that you need to spend every ounce of your energy at work? No. Like, you have to make time for your kids. If you don't have kids, I don't do excuse to anything. You don't have to go party. You don't have to go spend money on dumb shit. You just don't need to. So as far as work-life balance, I just don't believe in it. Like,
No, definitely.
Especially if you don't have any money.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have any money, like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, go knock the doors, go send out the emails, go send the text messages. Like, you have to put in the work. And the more work you put in, it seems like the luckier you get, just because you put in the work.
Yeah, definitely. Something that relates to that, and regarding sacrifices, a big one that you've taken is becoming sober, not drinking.
Yeah.
I know you recently had 5 years, which is huge, and also that office manager / partner that we were talking about, he just hit 4 years.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's kind of taken after you in that way. And I wanted to ask you, like, what has the impact of that been for you?
I didn't know that was going to happen. I had no clue. But again, if I'm the leader, I got to set the example. I got to be the example. So if I'm out there drinking and partying and look like an idiot, that's who I'm going to attract.
Yeah.
And I did it selfish reasons. I want to get healthier. I wanted to, lose weight. I wanted to be more clear. I had a big vision, and I wanted to execute instead of spending my time and extra money on alcohol or hanging out with my friends on the weekends. I made a decision to not drink anymore. So,
yeah. Well, was there did anything make you make that decision? Was it like a
So
big thing?
yeah. I mean, not a huge thing. So I was in Utah. It's Mormon country. They don't drink anyway. But we were at this event. We're all Top Golf. We're all golfing. I'm so used to going to events, right? And after the events, we're all just go party together.
Yeah.
And so it's just like what we were used to. And then I went to this event, and they were like very successful people. And we're out at Top Golf hitting balls, and they brought out a big tray of drinks. I grabbed my beer, went and hit balls, came back, set my beer down, and all those same drinks were still there. And I was looking around, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm literally the only one drinking.
Dang.
I mean, yes, I was in Mormon country, they don't drink regardless.
Yeah.
But still, they were still there. They're they were networking still. They're learning from each other, and they're like, successful CEOs. Like, and I put my beer down. Or I didn't grab the next one, I should say. And then that's kind of when 75 hard was starting too. So it was like a big thing back then. Still is today. So I decided I was gonna start 75 hard, and there was like 75 days where you have to go alcohol free. Not that I drank a lot, because I didn't. I was drinking like maybe once, at best twice a month. So,
Okay.
but if I had one,
Yeah.
it was like if it's like anything in life, I'm like, you're all in or nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd have one beer and have 10 or 12, and that's a lightweight. So, so yeah, so I did 75 hard, and then I went 75 days, and then like I felt so good, and I was eating clean, and I was like, oh, I really like how I feel. And then it was like a game against myself. Well, if I went 3 months now, like I'm gonna go 6 months. And 6 months turned into, I'm gonna go 9 months. Then 9 months turned into a year. Then after a year, I'm like, why would I ever go back? So then now, like I spoke at some conferences, and people would come up to me afterwards, like asking me how I did it. I'd be lying if I didn't say like once or twice a week. Someone reached out to me, he's like, hey, how did you get sober? I'm like, I just stopped. I mean, I didn't get help. I wasn't like that. I just decided to be done. But turning back to answer the question, like I didn't know the rest of that was going to happen. I didn't realize the people around me were going to get healthier. I didn't realize the people around me were going to stop drinking. I didn't realize my friends were going to stop drinking. Like some of my best friends that were at those events with me, they all quit drinking too.
Really?
And I didn't know that was going to happen.
Because of you, or just?
I mean, I don't think that I was probably a big influence.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd say again, twice a week, someone reaches out to me like, hey, how did you do it? Or how do you feel now? Like, would you ever go back? And the answer was never go back. I'll never drink again. And now I have nightmares. I said dreams, but nightmares that I like wake up drunk. Like I had like a nightmare like 3 weeks ago that I was like in my car driving backwards. Like, yeah, it's crazy stuff. And you wake up and yeah. So I didn't realize that, but people stopped smoking. People started going to the gym. But again, just looking back on it now, I understand why. Because again, I'm the leader. I set the bar, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And like my kids have never seen me drink ever.
No, that's right.
And even my oldest, she's 15. And so I stopped drinking 5 years ago. So she'd have been 10. But even when she was coming up, like I never drank around her. But my little kids, like Kinsley's 9 and Lainey's 6, they've never seen me drink. So which is really cool.
No, that's awesome. No, and that's the point of when you are when you are a leader, you have so much influence over people. And also, like you said, the people you attract. So if you are the CEO and you're not hitting the gym, you're not being healthy, you are going out and partying all the time, like you said, you're going to attract those people. But also, it seems like the people in your company are almost going to digress to that mean.
Right.
It's like you set the standard, which really, and it kind of seems stupid in a way. It's like, the whole company should be the standard, but you set the bar and everyone else kind of follows that. They're like, okay, well, Jonas hits the gym every day. Maybe I'll hit it 5 times.
Yeah.
But you still set that standard.
Yeah. And so like lots of changes. Like we saw videos of me from like 3 years ago. I have a hard time looking at it. But I don't look the same. I lost about 20, 30 pounds, but I also packed on a bunch of muscle. And then I shaved my head and like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, but look, you should like, right? Like you look back on your old self, you're like, you should feel that way.
Yeah.
Cause you know that there's been a lot of growth there.
Yeah. Now, kind of a rule or standard I've set for myself is if you're not cringing at yourself 6 months ago, you're not growing
Yeah.
as much as you should. Like, definitely when you look back like 3 years, it's like, huh, like,
Yeah.
who even is that guy?
Yeah.
But even 6 months, it's like, if you're the same person you were 6 months ago, I don't think you're growing enough.
Yeah, that's what Patrick Badger says. You have to recreate yourself like 4 times a year. Like every
Yeah.
quarter, you have to recreate yourself. And I 100% believe in that. Like we talked about in the last, I know I'm a last video that I did. Like when there's a problem in my business, I can't get it to go out of my head. Like
Yeah.
I will sit there for a month straight, 12, 14 hours a day, and figure this problem out.
Mhm.
This is how I operate
Yeah.
until I figure that thing out.
Yeah, you have to be a problem solver.
Yeah.
And related to Patrick Bet-David, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, I believe. You've gone to several of his events, and I didn't even know this, but you went when they were super small. You were like playing basketball with him.
Yeah.
It was like you and 100 guys. What have you learned from Patrick Bet-David and the conferences you've gone to of his?
Yeah, his were like, yeah, going back to like, this is again 4 or 5 years ago, SLS, there's maybe 100 people there. Of those 100 people, there's probably like 20 of us playing basketball. And Adam was in there, Adam Sosnick. And,
Oh, yeah.
And PBD was in there. And again, it's just a, like close group of guys. We're always hanging out, playing. So like they remember me to this day because we were playing basketball together.
Yeah.
So it was way different. Even at the vault, there was like 400 people, 500 people. Now it's like 14,000. It's way different.
Yeah.
PBD's is a rock star.
Yeah.
The whole group is. As far as there's so much that I've learned. Like I don't even know how to unpack it. Like what I will say though, is for PBD, it's the level of standard that he has with him and his team. Like it's through the roof. Like every detail matters. It's pretty incredible, to be honest. Everything is just, it's done to the next level. The team is amazing. He's obviously really sharp. I mean, they give you a playbook. It's a 3-day conference at the vault. And you literally go through this 3-day conference all through the booklet. Lots to unpack there. Last year I did the CEO version where you go in a private room with him with like maybe 100 other owners. It's like 10 or 12 grand for those tickets alone. Sat right up front, next to him, next to Andy Elliott, those guys. Because what I found was at the back, it was like standard seating or whatever. And we get into these groups, right? They do like these group sessions, and they put a problem up on the board. Then as a group, we'd solve the problems. So in the back of the room, or even in the middle of the room, we get in these groups, and I'd be in the groups of these people, and then they're all just like trying to solve this problem, and I'm just sitting there listening. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And I'd solve the problem. And they put the answer up in there, and they're like, yep, you're right. I'm like, So what I didn't want to happen again is when I figured that out in the back of the room, I was one solving the problems, that I need to be in the front of the room where I could learn. Because the back of the room, I wasn't learning, I was one teaching. So I would say, make sure you're in the room with the smartest people, which they were in the same room, they were just at the front. They're willing to spend the extra money. So I was willing to spend the extra money, get up front, get in those same circles with high level people.
Definitely.
So yeah, there's probably a lot, even like SLS, like there's so much stuff through a sales leadership program, like competitions and trips and how to do strategies through sales, and there's so much to unpack just in that alone. Is really cool.
Give me something in sales, like, because I know Patrick Bet-David's super big in sales. I've watched a lot of his.
Yeah, it's like he had like 11,000 agents, and of course he's running a competition against versus agencies, and so he goes through like the competitions that they run, the awards that they give out
for his company, sales guys.
Yeah, between sales guys and offices.
Okay.
And so he had like different types of competitions, the trips that they go on. Another big thing that we took away from him is like every, not that this is a massive change of the business, but instead of going out on New Year's Eve, we all come together as a team, and we do our yearly goals.
Bang.
So we buy a bunch of magazines, we order a bunch of magazines, bring them in, we help write our goals down. If you go up in my room, you'll see like 2 framed things with like vision boards. So we do our vision boards every New Year's Eve instead of going out and drinking.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I know, because everyone on New Year's Eve is usually out partying.
Yeah,
and
so he would do that, and then at on New Year's Day he'd have a sales meeting at 8 a.m. Because what he did, because sales guys, and maybe you don't, they're fun, they're outgoing, they're rambunctious, like they want to have cool shit, but they're out partying and drinking. So like he wouldn't want guys all getting in trouble. He didn't want to get hurt. Didn't want to get killed. So we'd have a meeting at 8 a.m. on New Year's Day, make sure that they'd be there for work.
Yeah, that's
So things like that I've taken away from him that I implement in the business. So it's
yeah,
really cool.
definitely love that.
So like if you go to James's house, you go look up on his walls, like he has his vision board for the last couple of years up on his walls. So
Yeah, no,
and it's really cool to see is like watching, like if you go look up the ones from this year, like things that I've checked off the list already is really cool.
Oh no, it's such a good feeling too when you have a plan for the year and you just check.
It's really cool.
No, it's awesome. Something else I wanted to mention, which I actually forgot to bring this up, I just wrote it on my phone, is you spending the day with Alex Hormozi. This is such a crazy thing. I can't believe I even forgot to write it in my notes for the show. So I think it's just like 2-3 weeks ago, you spent basically a full day with Alex Hormozi. It might have been like 8 hours or so. And for the people that are watching, hopefully you know who Alex Hormozi is. He's released some killer books, some of the best books in marketing, in my opinion. And I've personally watched over 100 hours of his content.
Me too.
Consumed all of it. And Jonas is a big fan of him too. So, I mean, I showed it to my friends, actually. They're like, dude, he met Hormozi? Like, there's no way. And you even spent the whole day with him. So I kind of want to unpack that a little bit of like, what did you learn from that coaching session, spending the whole day with him? Actually, maybe where we could start is like, how does Hormozi operate and think now that you spend some time with him?
He's on another level too. This could be an hour show just talking about him. There's so many big takeaways, but I would say that what you see on video is who he is in person. He's probably even a little bit more chill in person. Super funny.
Yeah.
Just genuinely a really good guy. Again, I sat right next to him, saw my pictures, got to hang out with him. I wouldn't say that we're friends, but he knows who I am. I know he is. I really like him. I think he really likes me. We had a lot of good conversations, even outside of that. I'll be back there in December.
Yeah.
Working really close to his team. So there's like level 1 through level 3. Then it's their portfolio company.
Okay.
And so we're at level 3, just before his portfolio company. Again, we could, but we're not gonna go do that. But I love marketing. I love sales. He's the best sales guy that I know.
Yeah. He's insane.
And as far as marketing goes, I mean, there's no one that's ever done it better.
No.
Not in our lifetime.
$1 million in a weekend.
105.
Yeah.
105 million a day. He said that he would made 200 million over the weekend, but he said he's a man of his word and he was shutting off at midnight. There are so many sales that were coming through afterwards. Like the level of detail with him too. I'll talk about this later on, but the things that they had to go through to get to where they're at today. The one question that I will say on this channel, we're like, what is the biggest surprise that happened to you during the book launch? And it was that nothing broke.
And that went according to plan.
And that he's like, it was kind of boring, actually. So that's I mean, they have a massive team, hired a call center for backup phone calls. Like his dudes that are making $500,000 a year are literally answering phones live. Like it took like 400 and some calls. Like it's pretty incredible. Like this entire team was bought in, and he's got some really cool things.
Yeah. And what personal takeaways did you take away for your business? Was there any, like, I know he said, hey, if you want to get into this stuff, like,
his gym was really cool. I'll say that. I feel like I work a lot, you work a lot. He works a lot, and it's like he still finds more time somehow to do it. And he's got an awesome team around him. I got to watch how they record content. Got to see how he operates even in his gym, like the level of detail in his gym. Everything's at its place and order. Yeah, it was super cool. It was obviously it was a good time to be there. Be back there in December. We'll look forward to working with them again next year. So yeah, it's definitely not gonna be a one-time thing for me. But again, if you want to be at that level of Alex Hormozi, you have to pay to play. He paid Russell Brunson like $1 million to be in his course. So I paid a fraction of that to be with him for 8 hours, and he spent 20 minutes with me.
Yeah.
Like one-on-one with me for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
As, I spent a lot of money, but it's worth it for me because that one thing that we talked about will probably change my business forever.
Dang. Yeah, is there anything you're going to implement immediately?
We already did. Yeah, but that's how I am. Like I was literally at lunch on the phone calling people, changing stuff.
Jeez.
But that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
I have I'm a high implementer. And so when I get ideas, like I have to, like, especially a big idea like that, I had to make a move. changes.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that with a lot of successful business owners, particularly in the home services, but I'd assume all industries. Even from Tommy Mello, I went to his event, Home Service Freedom, it was like 2 weeks ago or so. And this is like one of Tommy's main things too, is like as soon as he hears a good idea from maybe it's from someone he trusts or maybe it's a new industry innovation, whatever, he's on the phone with his team right away. And I've spent enough time with you that I've realized you're the same way as well. And that leads me into my next question here, which is you are at over 8 figures with your company, Pest Badger, and you know a lot of other 8 figure guys. You know, you just interviewed Jeff Davenport. I mean, you're even hanging out with Alex Hormozi and these other big guys. What is the difference between someone who's in the 8 figure range, even you could say like 10 to $30 million, versus someone who's in the 7 figure range, kind of just at $1 million or so, a few million?
Yeah, we all start there, right?
Yeah.
So like 250, like 0 to 250, 500, 2 million. And honestly, it's more mindset. Like, and have that learner's mindset.
Yeah.
Like, always be willing to fail. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's just part of business. Again, if you're just expecting people to say congratulations, you might as well find a new fucking job, because people, you're just not going to hear it. They just expect it. Honestly, it's what you know, right? And who you hang out with. You know, so if you're hanging out with people who are doing 500,000 a year, that's all you know, that's probably where you're going to end up. Now, if you hang out with people that are doing, like we've had this conversation, like, man, you should have such a big company, you should lead with saying this. I'm like, I just don't feel that way. I feel like we're still so small, because I hang out with people who are like Alex, who's doing 100 million a day. To me, it's like, we're nowhere near that.
Yeah.
So like, we have a long ways to go. And so I'm still the same way. I'm constantly learning, trying to get better, constantly growing. And so that's just part of it, right? You just got to learn. Some people just have a really hard time letting go and trusting other people, the business, which can be hard, and delegating. You can't do all this on your own. You have to start creating a big team. You got to be willing to spend the money. Because here's a good example. You're doing $1 million a year. You go bring in someone that's doing, it's going to cost you. Let's just say you're doing $1 million a year. Average is 10% profit margins across the industry. So you're making $100,000 per year. Now you go spend $60,000, $80,000 as manager. Most people see that like, oh, I don't have the money to go pay for it. You find the right person, that person will take you from 1 million to 1.5, 1.6 to pay for himself, and should 10x himself, really.
Yeah. No, talk a little bit more about that, because you were actually talking, it might have been Trisha or someone.
Yeah, Trisha.
I think, I forget the exact story, but essentially, if you hired her, you'd have like no money left over, and you still did it. Now, why did you do that, and what was the result of that?
Yeah, I mean, so we were like, this was year 2 of Pest Badger. We did like 3 million, somewhere in there. Somewhere right in there. And the profit margins, when you grow that fast, you dump a lot into marketing, a lot into sales. So as you scale, profit margins come down, which I'm totally cool with. And so I got to go spend, $100,000+ on this person. And it's like, well, shit, I don't have that money, not even in profits, but it's like, am I willing to trade that $100,000 profit for a person at that caliber? And to me, the answer is always yes, because every time you hire that person, they're going to 10x themselves.
What's her role?
She's the director of operations.
Okay.
Yeah. So she came in, we were good at sales, we were good at marketing. But the operations side, we weren't so great. I'll be honest, that's just not where I'm strong. I'm strong in operations, but not like she is. So paying the people who are much better than what you are. And I feel like, again, that's probably an ego thing. Like, oh, I'm better than, I'm better at this than anyone. Like, I don't want to be the best at finance. Like, I know enough. I know what I'm talking about. I can read a P&L really well, but I'm never going to know as much as Brian knows that he went to school for. So paying these people what they're, worth and then some more. And they're so good at their job. And every time it's like a big lever that you can pull, right?
Yeah.
It's a massive lever to pull. You bring these people in, they shoot you from, 3 million to 7 million. Like, literally within a year. And it's like, operations are so much tighter. The churn rate reduces. Like, everything has SOPs. Like, it's just everything standardized. And it's been great.
Yeah. It seems like almost the role of the visionaries, the role of the business owner is mainly to just be the visionary, be super ambitious, and to build a team around you. It's not really about you, but it's about like how well you can find people. And like I said, that's a really strong trait of yours.
Yeah. And again, I know where my talent lies, and it's building the team, and marketing is what I'm good at. And so building the rest of the team around me that I know I have to do that. And we're not done building. We're gonna have to hire more C-suite executives, and I love doing it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. And it's not like one of those hires that it's super fast. Like I really like get to know them, 3, 6, 7 months, hang out with them, get to know their family, with their backgrounds, like find out where they're at in life, right? If they're like, we're still in growth mode, like I feel like we're still building, like we're small business still. So I just kind of figure out where they're at in life. And so like maybe 3 weeks, so maybe a month, we were hiring a regional manager to go out and travel, really just tighten things up even more, make sure everyone's just kind of doing the same thing. And he's 55 years old, super smart. He was very excited to work here. And he knew the role was 80% travel. And I just said, hey, I want you to be honest with me. Like, where are you at in life? You're 55. Is this something you really want to do? Because if it's not, I'd just rather you be upfront with me now. Because this is where we're at in business, and we're not stopping and we're not slowing down. As long as I'm at the helm, we're going to work Saturdays and we're going to work Sundays. That's just who we are. We've always grown because we're willing to do things that most people aren't. Our call center open basically 24 hours, 365. So we always have to have that covered. And so we have this discussion, and he's like, that's a really good point. And I have this discussion with every single person. Like, I set the expectations up front. Yeah, in a way, I'm trying to scare them away because I don't want them to come in here and think that they're going to be lazy. I'm honest with them. Like, this is probably going to be the hardest you've ever worked, no matter where you come from. This is how we are, though. And this is how we've been able to grow so fast.
And that's how you tracked hard work.
Exactly. Yeah. So so he came back the next Monday. He's like, Jonas, I love what you're doing. He's like, I'd love to be at some capacity, but you're right. I'm not at that point in my life. I'm like, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Go find the next person. But I have that discussion every single time.
Really? Yeah. Really. Well, that's so powerful. I had another question, kind of unrelated, that I also wanted to ask you, which was just kind of in general. You can take this wherever you want. You guys are growing so fast. I don't know of anyone growing this fast. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure some people are, but it's really insane, especially because you don't have like someone pushing a lot of capital towards it or anything. You guys aren't taking out loans or anything. But you guys are growing so fast. I mean, you got on the Inc. 5,000. I think you guys were like at 1,187 maybe.
Something like that, yeah. We didn't break 1,000, so it pissed me off.
Yeah. No, but still, you guys are totally crushing it.
Yeah.
And I just want to, again, take this wherever you want. How are you guys growing so fast?
There's so many pieces of that puzzle. And I knew you're probably like, oh, that's super cliche. And you probably know what I'm going to say. It's the people. Like, it really is. Yeah, we're good at marketing. Yes, we're good at sales. But without the people, we would be anywhere we're at today. It's like, it's not just one person. It's like a collective team. And like, we're all pushing really hard. And we do work hard. We really do. Like, when I'm telling you I'm on the phone till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night because my CFO's in Pacific time zone. So it's 8 o'clock his time. It's midnight here. My director of operations, she's on Eastern time zone. She's working till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. This is what we do. Every single day, 7 days a week. Whether we're traveling or not. Like my Trisha will be traveling to Seattle, whatever, but constantly working. She'll go overseas with her family, and she's constantly working from her computer. So it's like a collective effort of all of us for sure.
Does it ever feel like you're demanding too much of people, or is it like they're...
I think yeah. But again, going back to that conversation we just had, like I try to scare them away from the beginning, but I set the expectations up front so that they know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
And not everyone when they're here makes it. They can't handle it. But am I demanding? For sure. And I think everyone that's listening to this podcast or knows me very well, they would say yeah. But I'm super easy to work with too, as long as you work hard. Honestly. Like, definitely. There's a few things that drive me crazy. It's laziness and people who don't take care of my stuff. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like I should be able to go in. I said this a million times, but I should be able to go into any one of my vehicles at any time of the day and go trade it in. Not worry about how clean and dirty. Like, it drives me bonkers. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. I can tell your frustration.
My team's really good at it.
Yeah. One of the last things I want to cover here, which we actually mentioned in the book, is you are a big proponent of EOS.
Yeah.
You guys use EOS in your business.
We do.
And some people don't even know what it is, and a lot of people don't have it implemented. Can you just like briefly talk about what it is and why it's so powerful?
Yeah, it's just an entrepreneur operating system. And there's so many different types of models like this, but it's just a framework that we've that I got taught maybe 5 or 6 years ago from my mentor. Just having meeting cadences and, meeting with the team, offsite, and just really dialing in your KPIs, meeting a weekly cadence every single week. We didn't hire an implementer because there was no implementers around in BFE, so it's just the closest one was at that time was Milwaukee, and they had to drive up here like 6 hours, and it just didn't work. So yeah, we just followed really closely. So we do like we do a meeting every single Wednesday at 11, and then we do like a mini EOS meeting with all of our other branches on Thursday. So it's like a 20-minute meeting. We start at 8:45, and then I think my last meeting is like around like noon or 1 o'clock. So every 20 minutes I'm on a new meeting.
Really?
Yeah, but it's just tracking like all the KPIs that we go through at the company level down to like the branch level, making sure that they're hitting their KPIs and staying on track.
And just real quick, what are some of those top KPIs?
I mean, cancellations, production, COGS, another good one. Reviews, another good one. See what else? There's ARs on there.
Accounts receivable,
accounts payable. Yeah, sales in general. We'll go through leads, closing percentage per branch. Yeah, there's some of the top ones off the top of my head. Now that we go through every single week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, all the things that we've covered on the show and much more is all in the book. So we cover KPIs, we cover partners, hiring A players, literally all the stuff that we've covered here. It's much more in depth. So I'd seriously recommend you can just go to Amazon, search up Zip Code Kings. And either the pre-order will be in the description, or if you're watching this a little bit later, then you can just go ahead and order it right away. But I think this has been a great show. Thanks for tuning in. The last question I had for you, Jonas, is what is your message to pest control owners? What do you want to leave them off with? What do you want to tell them?
Think bigger.
Think bigger. And you said that's what your mentor
First thing he ever told me.
Really?
There's so much potential out there. There's so much money. And like Grant Cardone says, who has my money? Just go get it.
That's my money.
Go get it. Because there's so much potential. Don't have limiting beliefs. Like, it's hard. I get it, especially at first. I wasn't always that way either. But now that I see the potential of what we've done in such a short time, even what I'd done in the first business was pretty cool. And like, we're still so small, but we have big aspirations to take down a lot more.
Yeah, when you keep hanging out around these big players, it's just like, how am I any different from him?
Yeah. I could go on a tangent there too.
Yeah, no, do it.
That's where I struggled. Like, I'd go meet with these. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone. That's not it. But I'd go hang out with these people who were throwing off some big revenue numbers. I was like, dang, it's a big company. And then I go hang out with them. I'm like, wait.
Some random guy.
It's just a random guy. And we talking, and like all these people were super excited to go meet this guy at a Patrick Bet David event last year. Doing big numbers in revenue. We went and sat down. We were having the discussions. And like when I'm telling you, every single person wanted to go sit by this guy. Everyone wanted to go sit by this guy. So we were all, I think there's 12 of us at the table. And again, I'm not patting myself in the back. But at the end of the conversation, he was telling them, don't ask me, just ask Jonas.
Dang.
So I told Jonathan, who's my mentor, the situation that I was in. I was like, Jonathan, I don't know if it's because of you that every time like I hear of a big business, it's going to be a Jonathan talking like behind at the CEO level, and they're not. And so I've been around him for so long, and I've gained so much knowledge from that guy. So that's just what I expect. So when I hear people use these big numbers and I go sit by, I'm like, that's not what I expected. So I know where our potential lies. My potential, my team's potential. Yeah. And yeah, we're capable of some big things for sure.
Yeah. No, I've noticed that with the high level people that I've met too. It's like,
yeah,
how's there any difference between me and you? Like,
right.
I definitely see a difference between like me and Elon Musk, but
yeah. I've never met Elon, but just listening to him, he's a different breed.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys that are doing 8 figures, even 9 figures, it's like, it's totally possible.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 30 years,
Yeah, exactly. Well, great. This has been a great show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And Jonas, where can people find you on social media?
At this point, just search my name, I think.
Yeah.
Again, you can find us on YouTube, multiple channels on YouTube, multiple channels on TikTok, Facebook. When you type in my name, I'm pretty much going to pop up at this point.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
pretty
Yeah,
easy.
but make sure to go check out his podcast. I actually forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show, but that is the Pest Control Millionaire podcast. I think he's done over 150 episodes.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. Totally crushing it. #1 podcast in pest control. Also follow him. Make sure to follow him on Facebook, LinkedIn,
Instagram.
YouTube, Instagram, all the platforms, like he said. And also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the new channel that we're starting, which is at Pest Control Millionaires on YouTube. That is at Pest Control Millionaires on YouTube. We're going to be posting a lot of content on there. We have a 72-part video series that we're going to be releasing there. We're going to be posting some of the case studies from our group. We're going to be posting, some private coaching calls that will end up going on there. A lot of fun stuff. We're just going to stag that channel with tons of free value. So if you guys are interested in learning more, growing your pest control company, definitely go check out that channel. Go check out all of Jonas's socials. All those links will be in the description. And thanks again so much for tuning in, guys. It's been a blast.